Yeah, Jason Weigandt. This is the Racer X Exhaust podcast. Going to have a YouTube version for you here with Kyle Peters, who is the five-time and defending AMA Arenacross champion, was going for the all-time record of 6 titles in Arenacross, but a neck injury, which dates back to an old neck injury, is going to sideline him for the rest of the year. But I actually thought it'd be worse news than that. We'll catch up with KP in a second, learn about his career in Supercross, what it was like to adjust to Arenacross, and the age-old, do you guys get mad at each other when you're taking each other out on the track every week? Does it spill over to the pits or away from the track? We'll ask him. But first, I have to mention that the Racer X Exhaust podcast is brought to you by Yoshimura. Go to yoshimura-rd.com and check out their line of exhaust. They are, of course, specialists with the Honda CRF 450R and CRF 250R. If you buy the Works edition of the bike, it comes with a Yosh exhaust. If you're Tim Geiser and you're developing prototypes of the bike, you run a Yoshimura exhaust. The Lawrence brothers run it. Chance Hymas, Joe Shimoda, they all run Yosh. And they have Yosh for any other brand of dirt bike that you are probably interested in. Huge power gains, for example, with the new generation Kawasaki KX450 and KX250. Go to the Yoshimura website, yoshimura-rd.com, for dyno charts. They got stuff for Suzuki's, Yamahas, the Austrian brands, KTM, Husky, you name it. Let's get to the podcast. Okay, this is a weird one. We have Kyle Peters here, the multi-time and defending champion of AMA Arenacross, and there's supposed to be an Arenacross race tonight. Why are you home? Why are you not there?
Yeah, unfortunately, at the last stop, I had an incident where felt a pop in my neck, whole left side went numb. Did the best I could to have everything done to be there racing. Just unfortunately, it just hasn't really come along very well. Since then, still pretty numb all down my left side. Got CT scan, MRIs, got everything done. And yeah, unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to get surgery, get all fixed up, and call it for this season.
Wow. Now, okay. First of all, you had a major neck injury a couple of years ago. Do you
Yeah,
know if that's related to that?
it is.
Yeah.
The hardware in my neck, I have 6 vertebrae fused. So just wear and tear over time. I have 3 bulging discs right now, 2 above my hardware, 1 below, and then I have swelling pushing on my spinal cord, causing everything to be numb. So, yeah, it's pretty.
That's worse than I thought. That's like a lot right there. I did not expect it to be. This is not a day-to-day level injury here.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate. I think, I upped my training this year, upped my time on the bike. The past 2 years, I could really only do one day a week because of my neck. Not this year, getting on the 450, trying to get as much time on it and time needed on it as I could. And yeah, I think it's just over time, the wear and tear of the grinding of everything, just wasn't very happy with me. So it's it's a heartbreaker, honestly. Like I want to be out there fighting. I love what I do, and it sucks for myself and the whole Phoenix Factory Connection team.
So this happened. I think I've talked to you. It did not happen with that huge collision that you had with Brees, but I think most people think that it happened randomly. It was not because of that.
Yeah, no, it was the next night, first main event. I just went a little bit too long in a rhythm, kind of G'd out into the face of one, and yeah, it just randomly popped. It's super weird. Just it was really nothing, and yeah, just not happy with me.
Wow. And you have any signs? You said you were riding more during the week or even in the races. Was there any signs that, ooh, this is starting to have wear and tear, or was it just like that?
I mean, it was maybe getting a little bit more sore during the week and whatnot, but yeah, it was kind of out of nowhere. I've been doing my normal thing during the week,
Yep.
therapy on it, strengthening exercises, just try to stick with it. And yeah, just all of a sudden let go.
So what does this mean long term here? I mean, it was surprising in some ways you even came back from the neck injury the first time. I remember that night. That was Supercross where that happened. That was a scary one.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're doing at this point?
Not necessarily. Doctors that I've spoke to, they say this is like way less invasive, kind of not as big of a deal. So I don't feel like I'm done.
Oh,
I feel
okay.
like I feel like I got some good years left in me. time will tell. But yeah, I definitely I wouldn't say I'm done. I still want to fight for more.
Oh, so this is not a retirement speech right now.
No, 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 no. I'm not. I'm
That's good.
not. I'm not done yet.
That's good. Hey, the competition really stepped up this year, which is really a good sign for Arenacross, right? It's becoming viable for, I guess there's more teams and more money, I would assume, if there's more talent coming in. Obviously, that makes it a little tougher on you, but is that cool in a way that it was like, look, more guys are choosing this as their path? It's a good sign for the series, at least.
Absolutely. It's great for Rain great for our sport in general. The more guys we can get out, more exposure, better racing for the fans. It makes it more exciting. And yeah, like the whole goal is to make a living racing your dirt bike. So if there's more avenues to do that, then that's the better.
Do you feel like you had a full measure of where you even were this year? So you're switching to the 450. There were only a couple rounds, and Arena Cross is crazy, right? It's like you probably need 30 races to take the luck and the weird stuff out. Do you even know where you fit in this year, or was it too early to even get a sense of where you were?
Yeah, this whole year was tough. New bike, you had the new Honda chassis, which was way different than the previous model, and going from 250 to 450. I've spent so many years on the 250. Um, I definitely don't think I was able to show what I'm capable of on the 450. I just bad starts, and I wasn't helping myself in any way. So it's definitely didn't start off the way we wanted it to, and then also with this, definitely not the way we wanted to end it. So rough year all around.
Does that actually give you a little motivation to not call it right now? Because you could, and it's been a solid ride. You could be like, look, this is two neck surgeries. I'm good. But does it almost give you a little chip on the shoulder of like, I want to show people those first 2 weekends or whatever it was of 2024? That's not it right there.
Yeah, absolutely. It gives me the fire. Like I love the competition. I love the fight. And yeah, I definitely wasn't. Didn't show what I'm capable of or anything to that matter this year. So it definitely gives me more of a reason to want to go back out there and get another championship.
Yeah, that's good. Can you talk about Heath Harrison here? So we hear that he leaves the team as the team manager on the Supercross motocross side. Then suddenly he's back as your mechanic. What I heard was he just came back because he wanted to work with you. This wasn't a full Phoenix Honda full-time job. He's just along for the arena cross ride here.
Yeah, he was just the weekend guy. He'd go home during the week, work his excavating business, and yeah, come with me on the weekends. It's something that he had brought up to David, and I was all for it because he was my mechanic when I first got on Phoenix through Arena Cross and my Supercross days. So I loved it. I mean, I love that dude. He's an awesome dude. He brings such good vibes to the races, and it's a bummer because I only got 2 weekends with him, but yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He was only doing it really. This was like personal. You and him being buds, wanting to do it. This was not really for work purposes. He just wants to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, it's cool. Okay, so we have to talk about the record here. That was the goal this year.
Mhm.
Does that unfortunately make it sting even more to not get that sixth straight?
I mean, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's it's a heartbreak either way, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's there's so many thoughts and emotions that I've gone through the past month since the last race. I did everything that I could, dry needling, acupuncture, cryotherapy, just trying to get my body back to where I could even be in a position to fight for it. But but yeah, it's really tough to go out this way, especially with an injury that was like not really a big deal, and then it just flared up. But yeah, it's a bummer for sure.
Yeah. Dude, but okay, this wasn't a big deal. It was just OJing in a rhythm. I did not know you had six vertebrae fused in your neck.
Yeah, I've got two rods and 10 screws from C4 to T1. So
Is it? I can't tell. Like, I don't see you moving in weird ways. Are there normal daily life things I would think would be affected by that?
for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Just the day to day, like I can feel them constantly in there.
Ooh.
Um, it's very strange. Like the way I move is a lot different. I'm a lot lot more restricted and
I would think. Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so it's not ideal for sure, but we make
No.
it work.
No, but I know you're saying like, oh, it's this came out of nowhere, but I mean, like, you got rods and screws in your neck. Things are gonna happen, man. Uh,
Yeah,
but the doctors are not like, hey, this is too risky. You should stop doing this.
no, like they know from my previous time
Yeah.
I happened. I was asking them. I was like, hey, like what's the deal here? He's like,
Yeah.
well, it's not going to break where your rods and screws are. It's just going to break above or below. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I mean, like anything can happen at any time. Like,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where like I love the sport. I love what I do. The Lord's watched over me and kept me safe for this long, and I believe He will continue. So, um, yeah, it's you want to live life to the fullest and do what you want to do, and this is what I love. So keep digging.
All right, that's awesome to hear you're not done. Let's go in the Wayback Machine and just talk about your career overall here. I feel like you're one of the most underrated Supercross guys ever. We joke, Mathis and I, that you've probably had more 6, 7, 8 place finishes than any rider ever, which is really good, but just not quite enough where people remember you at the end of the night. Do you, is that accurate? Do you feel that way? Like you're not bad. It just off the podium.
Just barely off. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like it's not from a lack of effort.
Right.
That's the whole thing. It's like, man, put in so much time and effort, and yeah, just a little tick off here and there. I think
Yeah.
if I could have done a few little things better in my Supercross days, things would have been different. But it is what it is, and I love Supercross. I still, like I go down to club and ride with those boys and try to push them and fight with them a little bit. But yeah, it's who knows? Maybe more Supercross days in the future.
Yep. Do you get to say now though, you did get some of those podiums, even in your JGR days and whatnot. So do you at least say, look, I'm sure your goal was to win 20 races, titles, all that. Now that you get to look back and say like, but I did get some Supercross podiums. Does it feel actually better now looking back at this stage?
Yeah, I mean, the podiums are great. Like,
Yeah.
Obviously, like you said, everyone wants to win.
Yeah.
That's their goal. To be the Supercross champ, the outdoor champ, to
Right.
be all around the McGraths. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I grew up watching, and Carmichael and Stewart. Like,
Yeah.
that was the whole goal. But I gave it all I could, did the best that I could, and to come out with three podiums isn't bad. So
Yes, as a normal guy walking the street, which you will be 10 or 20 years from now, if you tell people that, they'd be like, damn, bro, that's pretty impressive. In the moment, you want 20 wins. But, if you meet an NFL player, you'd be blown away that the guy was even in the NFL, right?
for sure.
Like,
Yeah.
That's your level. Like no doubt you made it in the sport. You were a professional athlete. And then the Arenacross thing, was that even on your radar when you were younger? Or is this something that just happened perfectly for you?
Yeah, it just happened. When the JGR thing went away, David Eller, like we're really close. The shop's close to my house, so went and talked with him, and I'm like, hey, like I still want to do Supercross, and he's like, all right, well, you can do that. You just got to do Arenacross before, and it worked out perfectly to where it was like 6 weekends in a row right before East Coast Supercross, and I think it was honestly one of the best things for me. Just getting gate drops, getting the race craft into the Supercross days, and yeah, I was able to get a podium for the Phoenix Honda team, the first one, and yeah, I come to love Arenacross. Definitely wasn't something that I was like, oh yeah, like that's kind of what I want to do. But after the first year or two, like it was, it felt like bringing it back to the amateur days, like the night track amateur days of like everyone's close, no one's in big semis, like everyone's like there's no anyone can get to you. You're watching little kids race, like it was cool. And that's one of the things I loved about it.
So here's the thing that always blows my mind with the Arenacross. Yeah, as you just said there, you guys are pretty much pitted like sitting next to each other, right? Like you can see your rivals all the time. The joke is always that you guys could take each other out and then have a beer at the bar an hour later and everybody's cool. Is that still the case? Or did it turn super serious at times? Does it turn it on? Does it turn off? What's that experience part like?
I think it depends on who it is, obviously, but
Yeah.
also I think we do take it very serious, you know?
Yeah.
Like this is most of us, this is our job, this is our way of living, and I know I'm not the greatest loser.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we all fight really hard for it, and at the end of the day, like I'm cool with everybody. I get it. It's part of our sport, part of a job, especially in arena cross. Like one of those things where yeah, you're gonna make a little contact. You're not. It's just one of those. Yeah, that's the way it is. But yeah, I think for the most part, like we're all cool. It's racing, and we leave it out there on the track.
Yeah, I did hear the night before the neck injury, you were a little bit hot. Can you confirm or deny?
Um, I wouldn't say like that. That's a tough one, you know, because uh, I was it was a full racing incident.
Yeah.
It's not something that like it was kind of just one of those things like, oh crap, bad
Yeah.
placement, bad position. And then after the race, he stopped and wanted wanted it, and like I just can't back down at that point, you know. Uh,
Oh, okay. It wasn't one side. It wasn't just you. He was
no,
bad
no, yeah, like we were both racing hard,
Yeah.
like we all do, and yeah, he didn't like the move, which I understand. It
Yeah.
definitely wasn't meant to be anything like that. And yeah, so it was a fortunate event, unfortunate weekend, really.
Yeah.
And yeah, just a rough year for me.
Dude, that whole weekend, there must have been like 9 different things that happened. Our buddy Danny Stewart, who works with the series as video side, he's like, all this stuff going on, people don't even realize how hurt Kyle actually is right now because there was so much other drama going on that weekend. But
Yeah,
you and Brees had no issues the next night, right? Like you just left it out there on Friday.
yeah. I mean, that was that.
Yeah.
We raced hard in the heat race, and yeah, that's arena cross racing.
That was the answer I was looking for. That's arena cross. Everybody, it's gonna happen. Did you have to change since you didn't grow up racing arena cross? Did you have to learn the block pass, stop, cat and mouse thing, or learn to be comfortable with the aggressive racing, or is that something you always liked anyway?
Yeah, I definitely don't think that that's my style of riding.
Yeah,
Like, not something that I grew up with, or even like my first few years of arena cross. Like, it was. I don't think I really touched hardly anyone.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you have to learn
Mhm.
and kind of figure out. But yeah, just the whole arena cross way of racing was different than I had to learn that
Yeah.
throughout the years, and yeah, I feel like it fit my style a little bit. So I think that made me like it a little more.
Uh, my old buddy Antonez, the other 5-time champ, he's not the
Okay.
biggest guy, neither are you. And he's like, dude, it doesn't matter. Like, if you know what you're doing, anybody can do anything to anyone with a dirt bike. Or my guy Jason Thomas says that. He's like, yeah, I wasn't the biggest guy out there, but we're all professionals. We all know what to do if the time comes. So were you able to adjust?
For sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly like I said. When you're in the moment, you figure it out.
Yeah. 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 That's what Arena Cross is all about. Okay. So this is not retirement,
No,
hopefully. But it probably is curtains on this season. Will we see you back on a bike at any point? Even
uh,
Supercross? Any idea?
that's tough.
Okay.
Yeah, the timeline, I'm not 100% sure on
Yeah.
how it's all going to go, but
Yeah.
as soon as I figure that out, I'll let you know and keep you updated.
Now, when the off season is there for Arena Cross, you don't race outdoors or anything, so you got a long break.
Yeah,
What do you do during that time? Do you pick up other work, or what do you actually do?
yeah. My dad owns a dealership,
Yep.
car dealership, not too far from here, and yeah, I'm wheeling and dealing cars and going to the auction, buying and learning that whole business.
That is so funny. I thought I'd heard that, so that's why I asked. So
Yep.
this is what I always say. People feel bad when they see privateers, and I'm like, dude, when you see the privateers, they're the happiest dudes on earth. Don't feel they would like to make millions, but they're basically like, I could be doing a regular job right now, but instead I'm racing dirt bikes. So,
for sure.
so you have actually experienced that. You know exactly what a 9 to 5 or 6 to 3 life would be.
Yeah, absolutely. It's since my neck, I can't really do anything during the summer.
Yeah.
Just very hard on me. So
Yeah.
my body. So yeah, I mean, during the summers, I go to work and riding dirt bikes are so much better.
Yeah. There you go. There it
Like
is.
it's honestly crazy. Just the difference going to 9 to 5, like, and then you like after a week or two, you're like, man, like I really miss being at the track. I miss the grind. I miss everything about it. And then it's like, man, yeah, well, I could probably go a little faster this year, like just so I don't have to go full time to work yet.
That is great. So that's what a lot of this is. You know eventually you'll be doing that. It could be 2 years, 1 year, or 5 years, but that's what you're going to be doing at some point.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, my dad's built this business for 31 years now.
Yeah.
He's had it going, so yeah, that's the plan is to take that over and have him retire and finally relax a little bit. But yeah, he's a little upset that it's taken so long.
Nothing wrong with that. That's what I said. That's why you're smiling, even though you're hurt. At least you're
Yeah,
still racing in general. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. I'm super blessed with where I'm at. It could have been a way worse when I did my neck.
Yes.
It was the doctor that did my surgery originally. He was like, 90% of this injury, the way you did it, is you're paralyzed. So I'm so blessed to be here doing what I love to do and walking around and just enjoying life still. So and even this here, like
Yeah.
I have the numbness feeling, but everything works well. I have a little bit of weakness in my hand, but overall, like, it's I'm so fortunate.
It's a good way to look at it. Okay. Last thing, this particular weekend, are you going to tune out completely?
uh,
Most guys in your situation do. Like, you don't even want to know there's a race happening. How are you going to take it?
yeah, I mean it's tough because I love it. I love to watch just be involved. But yeah, I think for tonight, anyways,
Yeah.
especially first race back, I'm just gonna have to get away from the phone, social media, just everything involved, and yeah, be okay with it.
Yeah. I think that's 95% of the time. That's what I hear. I mean, heck, Chet Lawrence told me he didn't watch racing for, geez, first 6 rounds last year. Tomac said the same thing when he was out with the Achilles. So, yeah, just be a normal guy on a Friday night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to do, but
I know. I know. All right. Well, this is good. I honestly thought you might have retirement news coming. So good to see you're smiling, and maybe not. Yep.
yeah, no, definitely not retiring yet. I love it too much to give it up. If I can still do it, I want to do it, and I still feel I'm competitive, and I'm only I'm only 31. I'm still young, so
These days, that's normal, right? That's
yeah,
like a normal age.
yeah, exactly. All these guys are still winning Supercrosses. They're
Gee, that's
older.
funny. I know I just said that was my last question, but this entire you're like the exact same age as that entire group. Aren't you the same age as like basically Tomac, Barsha, Malcolm, Anderson? Aren't you right around there?
I think I was a year behind them. I think I'm
Really?
the same age or a year
Yes.
younger. So yeah, I mean those guys are still crushing it, and
That's right.
I feel like I'm not done. I still feel like I've got better years coming. So yeah.
It's going to be exciting then next year. That'll be exciting. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cool. All right. Thanks for the time. Phoenix Factory Connection Honda. I know they had a lot of hopes pinned on this. And actually, I don't think people realize this. This means a lot to Honda, too. Honda
For
wants
sure.
this title.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely. That's the goal is to be the all-time winning arena cross guy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately it's not going to happen this year, but we got some years left. So
That's what we like to hear.
all
All right, KP. Enjoy your Friday night away from the races. It's not so
Thanks.
bad sometimes.
Thanks, Weech. I appreciate it.
Cool.